Ndizi TV Ubwansu Gusii. Biamuno kegima mwanchwa muligelia television ya Ndizi TV nigo chiragire CHINSA ISATO CHINSA chorogo rwa Afrika ya mocha chinga kiborone aliganiri ya kegima kwene kyabuna nakoletera mangana maya asenchira yobikirano kegima unere butambe ekero chigire CHINSA ISATO kilituko lya Jumamosi kurwa sigatesini kya onambeyemo EKEUMBU wabike Gusii kya Ndizi TV nigo tukomerana naje iliyo naene kyabuna nakoletera mangana maya mbigo twasoa ase egengesigia kabire kyumuro byo EKEUMBU kurezo taikense meyo nigo tete kwaliganira ya kegima asomo yo murabu kegima iliyo kwene kyabuna kwa manyire je chinsemo kiruboneta kuligira mangana ya majya ekorwa na boko so Facebook so TV Mosani aligira likorwa Facebook Ndizi TV News Digital YouTube nigo tonyora buna Ndizi TV News ese website ito sororo nigo tonyora buna ndizitv.net alibona kwanyara kuligira ense gweta biamono kegima abasagiba ito nigo basoire chinsemo chinyinge kwene kyabuna bakwaliganiriye amangana atari make iliyo onyare kwe manya asinchira yubekirano unere butambe lituko lya Jumamosi nigo tokomera na EKEUMBU CHINSA ISATO oyino murobulyo kurwa CHINSA ISATO gweka CHINSA isano echabutuko lituko lya lero nigo ndenere Henry Okari oyo nigale omworokia ase University ya Kisii nabo nigare munyakirogo ase kiombe kya Amnesty International rosagia rwa county ya Kisii lituko lya lero nituko kwanira 16 days of activism against gender based violence matuko yuko 15 na mo ose 15 no nagotebrie nigo akoera abu ankyo nigachagete egeka kya matuko 15 abereka gweta na abu ankyo na lyo lituko lyo mwali okegima lyo koligereria mangana ali arengete ekisegi chege nka chikobekirwa sabaswati abasacha nonya nabana ndokwana mange ekobwatakana nemero bili libabekire na ali abereka korekana asorogonko rwagusii boigon tuligererie ebirengo bijise gichegenka naliende abereka korekana ase county jito ebire county ya Kisii naboigo county ya Nyamira gwekira boniga birengo ki tubwate naboigo bitango kibyabekibwe na kwene kyabuna kisegi chegenka echo abire chiko kea ekigima nagotebia omugino ne nigakurwa Henry Okari omweri nigakurwa ase county ya Kisii naboigo nigaro mworokia ase University ya Kisii yerese county ya Kisii boigo nigaro munyakirogo ase kiombo kya Amnesty International sorosagia rwa Kisii bono mwanchumbo lilia togenda alikera Nairobi bya kigima nigo tuyariganetie liwo koyanekeria kwa manyire amangana ali segichegenka boigo yandamange kuri litangani togende Petra Mokeira ensemo ya kabiri tukoirana na mangana maya asenchira yobikirando buya kigima mwancho moligeria kero chire CHINSA ISATO inyoranga tindi jibweka na tore na Joshua AUTA uyo koletera mangana majya senchira yo muntu wabwe byorokereryo bono amangana majya nigo tugoya chaka buneko bwatya omonogari bwe bungeje county ya Nyamira omusike no kokero nigo bono amochire ababwatani bali balinga se committee ye chinkwana echuko iwana ase ogotamulikira alia amanene anemono ingana yogo konga kubugima boigo nigabolirie oboene koene kiwa chingaki echugo echarokia amatemu ase amochirie abateneri ba matemu ase gotebakiria nigo bagenderete kuniriria aborokigwa chingaki echobokoreri ibwabo nyororoboti ruo
obugima no bokomu ense yabone serikali ya David tebwati mesale ko abakolimere moya paye asengenjo ekegambero kiria cyokwanira mangana ali ito gekora unomo sena tuito ekagenda ekararo sikyobisi cy'abantu bawiru kikure ikarobaika asogokwanira gupungusa egarama ya maisha ya mafuta ali akorosie bintu VAT ebango bagaterwa obisi emwakirietia kwikechega ni kibese murarusie bango ngayebese gucha kurwa abantu amwakiretirio obisi bakikoyo bagatiga mbakwanira amang'ana y'omwananchi gende gikara cyasa abantu baminto buna ne referendum mugokeye ryonse pinse mukeye ryonse wikaba address amang'ana y'obugima ebintu byakongire January no troch kisukungu cyakabakiri kinkongo abana kogenda tugo temume uyirwechera ukikorike statement uyira no gotemu mugaso umwana oyimo kinakoro gotemu aite tuwale basabe serikali amatemu amaki wasenjerengia ntonyoro bututukana
Igotikana noroboti urubono ni goto gusuka busyo asoroboti runde omu MCA bwe ward ya Rigoma kurwasi county yo ya Nyamira omuske nyambega gisesa ni go atebiruna emerobulyo onyare kubika eiseine elyokonekia nankoletale obukoreri borobuya namono asechiro ya keroka igaya kwana yo asomusangerekano oyomo asatebiruna ni garachi kwaga kiraba onchoreria ase bagokorera obonchoreri ime yechireyo elyokonekia buna nigo banyorire gwika estima elio gusukia busyo emirubiryo emengeli babwate
ena Mokeira area assembly ya Nyamira na county tumefika wakati wa kuwafanyia kazi paradere ya county kurunya nsira ya soiboro ya nambaka hoteli kwa wote mtu wa kera kulasomo jumbe batokorere pare kuruma hata gotira kuru hoteli kwa wote arege tumu aro square tuange toko kenacha nari tigari kiratire raize nebintu binde tonyako batebi nyagitari otenya njana rikonyo ya strawberry yaisha kwara ngona kwatora magendro.
Tukishirikiana na governor tunatengeneza another abolition block na richicho chira bebere gari ase echiro nanda abantu bakero kamba complain gore ya street lights tukara aweka ya imast nere aweku kama sisi kama county tunaongeza imast zingine 2 ya mogari police na ya mogoro ego chimate gaiga na liera improve amangana a security kingo korera pi na bang na bari bakore kasi chiro gari ndo to baroseri ndo kuna vending platforms asemo koneli ebinto bya ino na ande pastor kwa sababu tunataka town yetu ya Keroka ikue kubwa epare koru police rogoro ekorere chiro mega gaiga pia tuna mikakati yoko jebeka
akira tugendrete gusuka busyo no nyamagiga yogusiria amuiburioye umorokigwa Jono Yugi oyogendrete gwetoma bono kegima nigobona bekiro mukiase kisemi chaye ilio gokonyeka amatuko alebusyo umano yo John gati yaborokigwa bali bakuru asichiamate echoko chitali kwenyara kurende nigagendrete konyora ogosirwa ilio kwegendereria ase kisemi chaye nigo Mokeira babwatani ao obabeire bakomusira na kwenekia buna chinga kichinyinge ngotukari ase skuru kolende nigalire ira yogo chakobeko mokia ilio gokonya na boigo koire ni okoboko chinga kichebusyo ase kenyoro kiaye
Jina langu ni John Oyugio Chako. Mimi ni mmoja wa wafadhili wa shule ya Ben's Gender. Shule hii imenilea kutoka nilipokuwa chekechea. Mwalimu Ben ndiye amenisaidia. Wakati mama yangu mzazi alifariki, alinichukua na akanitunza katika shule yake. Hadi nilipomaliza mtihani wangu wa darasa la 8 mwaka uliopita, nikaweza kuitwa shule ya Kardinali. Niwezesha nikajiunga na shule hiyo. Na mimi natia bidii ili na mimi baadaye nije kusaidia watu vile naye alinisaidia wametuonyesha upendo tukiwa katika shule yake, na namuombea Mungu aweze kusaidia wengine kama vile mimi niweza kusaidia. Darasa la 8 nilipata alama 378, ndipo nilipoitwa shule ya Kardinali. Nasaidiwa na bursaries kidogo, mwalimu Ben anatusaidia na pia ndugu zangu wanajitahidi kutafuta pia kidogo ili tuweze kulipa karo kule Kardinali. Baada ya masomo yangu ningependa kuwa journalist ili niweze na mimi kusaidia watoto wengine kama nilivyosaidiwa. Kwa maana asingenisaidia nisingejua ningeenda wapi, hata nisingemaliza shule ya chekechea au ya msingi. Pia hii shule mara nyingi ndio inanipa usaidizi nikiwa shuleni, so nimekuja hapa angalau niweze kuangalia mwalimu Ben kama anaweza kunisaidia na karo ya mwakani ninapoingia katika kidato cha pili. Nasema ni asante kwa maana wamenitoa mbali, wasingekuwa wao hata singejua ningekuwa wapi sasa hivi.
Muriria gotigana na John Oyoro Morki wa skuru ya Kano tunga musocho na wigotete ko bomoraria ni gobono etogosuka abusio kigima uchi ase orobotronde kero twegerete mna ande yakaba samaribande menyale gosoka elio ekomoa obukonyi gotigana nayo abasaikuru asorgonko rwa Afrika ni gobono batwale gikaro imeyo mucho Nairobi egikare ikyo giaikirana no murai bwense muske William Ruto asaba kwanira mange anemono igoro yemerobilio elio bekire gosera chikobekwa elio kone kiabuna kwegendereri bare bosio murai bwense singakichu ni galire ira yogo cha kobasira na kwene kiabuna konyora bare amabaga ao elio banyale kwegendereria ase obugima bwabo.
I believe this change is coming because the old Africa, the one that was defined and defined itself by challenges, the one that glorified its problems and sought external solutions, that Africa is fading away. We are in a new process of creating a new Africa, one that is founded on a rock-solid belief in our own capacity, that is driven by our relentless pursuit of progress, and that is committed to developing solutions to obliterate the challenges that we all face. At the heart of this revitalization sits the most talented, innovative, and dynamic generation of Africans there has ever lived. A wireless generation, a borderless generation, and more importantly, a relentless generation that I see in front of me. I came here to interact with this remarkable group, to engage and listen to you all. We are, in this moment, living in an Africa where the only thing that matters is the creation of opportunity. This is the agenda. This is our objective. This is the conversation.
Mwanchu morigiria kero tugendrete gutigara soroboti oruo boigo omurai bwense ni gatebirumna obonchurulia ni gatiyemeremo elia era chikoba ke gokonya abasai kigima chigakijwa tebirumna obonchurulia ni gati yemeremo elia babekire emerulia sere elio koneke mnanko abasai chibesa banyare gochakia na kwegenderelia boka abanyene asensemeyo.
Let me speak about enterprise development, the future of Africa's borderless commerce. And I'm happy I'm speaking this when my brother Mokeira is sitting here, our Secretary General for ACFTA. Entrepreneurship is the biggest creator of value and opportunity in the world. With their increasing levels of education and skills, Africa's youth can drive economic growth by embracing entrepreneurship. African governments like Kenya have to make supporting MSMEs a key priority, pairing financial support with advisory services. We must foster a conducive environment for entrepreneurship by providing young people with access to capital, mentorship, and opportunities to transform their ideas into thriving cross-border businesses. This can be achieved by simplifying business regulations, facilitating access to finance, and promoting regional economic integration. Kenya is championing entrepreneurship by creating an enabling environment for young people to start their own business. We have facilitated access to finance for young people through affirmative action funds, namely the Hustler Fund, Youth Enterprise Fund, Uwezo Fund, Women Enterprise Fund, and National Government Affirmative Action Fund. The Hustler Fund, for example, has benefited 21.7 million Kenyans across Kenya. Let me also say, we are lowering access and we are expanding new opportunities so that we can escalate this to the
Onjo murigeria kera tutigarite asoroboti orwo boigo omo governor bwi county ya Kirinyaga omusubati Anne Waiguru nere boigo okirana somo sangirikano yoime yomo chone Nairobi okwana igoro yamangana yabasa nere nigo atebabuna.
After this conference is done, I hope that those of us in leadership will do something to ensure that this moves from a talk shop and something actually does change for the youth of Africa. The youth of Africa, as you have heard, want clear, porous borders. For the women who are young, they want unrestricted access to opportunities, career opportunities for those who want to work. What does that mean? The restrictions that have traditionally been there, that we saw during COVID, that actually we can work around, we loosen those restrictions to allow young women to have access to work, whether they are working from home because they are young mothers. We expect these young people, especially young women, to still get into the family way. But one of the restrictions for young women to move up their career paths is that when they get into the situation where they have children, there are restrictions to how far you can go to work. The opportunity may be in Rwanda, for example, but you can't move from Kenya. It may be in Kisumu, but you are living in Kirinyaga. The youth of this country and the youth of Africa are looking for opportunities where they can work across counties and across nations, and we should provide those opportunities by being less rigid, for example, in the public service, allowing people to work from home. We did that during COVID, and the world did not stop. Why can't we provide the same opportunities to ensure young people continue to have access to opportunities?
Kigima soroboti orwo oyuno mugavana bwi county ya Kirinyaga mongina Anne Waiguru gokwanira igoro ya mangi gati abona ki abasaye obonta ko walibaka ase emirimo ahoime yeserikali na boigo ekurusirwe bitango biriya batange barabwo mbanyora emirimo ase gose mbanyara kwegendereria bosyo yamono kigima omwanchu murigelia kerogenderete kurigelia amangana maya kurwegete sinikya onambe mokia Ndizi TV goska mutwe ekiombekelia egiokurwani obukurumi kya Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission nigo kegenderete kobeka emirumbilio emekiranu eliokurwania obukurumi imense ya Kenya litukulia lero nigo batwara egeikaro egiokuinyora litukulio kurwani obukurumi aso omurobelio okorekana imeje county area ya Murang'a nigo bono baburirie abakenya kwenekia buna ngobwaterana bale asugukora omuchando yuo obukurumi oyobeire ngana enkonkegima koyerwa nime yense ya Kenya yoro roboti urwo.
I remember that is what the slave traders thought, that slavery can never be abolished because they were benefiting from it. That is what the racists in America thought because they were privileged. That is what the colonialists that colonized various nations of the world thought. That is what apartheid in South Africa, those people who are there thought that it would never end. That it was here when the colonialists took our country, they thought it would never end. But you can never fight against a desperate people who are seeking their livelihood and their welfare. And so those who are committed to corruption, we are going to take the words of our leader, Kiraitu Murungi. We are going to fight you as a matter of life and death. Secondly, he said that by signing this document, we are doing the right thing by ratifying this convention today. To stand against corruption is the right thing to do. As we gather here today, 20 years since these words were spoken, we must refocus our vision to building a corruption-free Kenya. It is the right thing to do. The truth is, no nation in the world has ever grown through shortcuts, such as corruption, gambling, fraud, and so on. Great nations are those that have prioritized hard work, like we are hearing here in Murang'a, honesty, trust, and integrity. Ethics and integrity, my fellow Kenyans, may not give you immediate rewards, but it builds for us a deep reservoir from which we can draw for a lifetime.
Gotigana na yumwanchuo murigeria ni gotogusuka busio chiga kiabagendia bichigari baburi gwekoba maiso kigima anene mono chiga kichi chimeyiga yisuguku no mwako muya ni gobatebigwe kubwatia machiko yebara elio kweneke buna ni gobono batali gochia kokora mebasokano menge elio gokoro mwaka buyana bigo gochaka omwakonde senchira erengia yororoboti ruboigo.
Wale wa pikipiki pia tunaomba sana wazingatie sheria za barabara kama vile wanapo overtake na njia inayofaa, sio kuoverlap kupitia upande wa left, wapitie upande wa right na waangalie mbele. Wakikuta magari zimesimama nao wasimame, wasipite manaka ajui ni nini iko mbele. Ajali nyingi zinapita kwa sababu wale wa jamaa pikipiki wana haraka sana ya kwenda. Kwa hivyo wazingatie pia hiyo, wasiwe na hiyo haraka ili
kuja hapa leo kwa sababu ya kuambia watu waendeshe gari vizuri, sababu wakati wa Christmas watu wengi wanakunywa pombe, wanaendesha gari vibaya na wanakosa accident. Na wakikosa accident wanafanya watu wengi sana waumie, na tungewaomba wakiendesha gari vizuri wajue kama hakuna accident wamesave hata kitu ya kupatia watu yao nyumbani, kwa sababu saa ile accident imetokea watu wengi wakiumia, ile pesa walikuwa natafuta itatumika na hospitali. Kwa hivyo ningemuomba wakati huu wa Christmas muwe madriver wazuri, mfuate sheria ya barabara, kwa sababu ile kitu inafanya accident itokee ni watu kukosa kufuata sheria ya barabara.
Shukuru kwa sababu ya hii sensitization, tunafurahia kwamba imekuja kutuletea ushirikiano mwema. Sisi kama operators ama mandereva tuko na self regulation, tunajiregulate sisi wenyewe. Tuko na vikundi ambavyo tunaangalia mmoja na mwingine, tuko na vyama ambavyo tunaangaliana kama kuna watu ambao hawatimizi sheria zile ambazo zinafaa kufuatwa za barabara. Tuko na njia ya kuwaregulate na kuwatambua, lakini tumeamua kufuata sheria.
Huya kigima mwanchu murigeria buna nagotebia bwoli tangani nigo ngendrete kwiroberia kigima mugeni onenko chari gase studio emarago baya bono elio tukwanira mange uko bwatekana na matukari 15 nomo amanyikana tebuna 16 days of activism against gender based violence ayachaka bwango iga na kare kwa erabo litukori hankyo mugeni onega kwa Henry Okari Omwiri nigaro mworokia se university ya Kisii ijotoka me county ya Kisii na boigo nigaro munya kirogo ase kombekiria Amnesty International orusagia rwa Kisii gaiga ngo chari gaiga nditogo tumanye na ngaitwe kire ase okurwania amangana muna yuwechege chegenka na boigo merobeliki abekirwe nere inki barorire gwikira boniga igono tubasa gusuka guchia tambe berangene TV yawo gabo ekiagera kiragocha nigo turasoe imekigima asengane yukunya kwanira na nene mono kiba kolire asama tukaja 15 nomo abeire gako gendererwa aguchikokurwa abo chinga kicha anke igono tubasa kwendale nonya nabo tinda akora kigima nimbo toroboti Mokeira orundete gukorera ase serikali nigegendrete bono kubwatana nababwatani bande au kurwa chinsemo au elio kurwania omuchando bwo sarabana Chinyaruka imeje county ya Nyamira nigo bono abantu bagendrete gosemigwa igoro yobo bebo sara omwana Enyaruka ase bono ya enikibwebuna nigo abange bagendrete okolenga nejo bobisi kigima na koboli gwa gotika chimbwa bunecho cyabere chigwetwa ni chingaki musakito job mangi kurase county ya 045 nigo aliganira kigima na gokorotera roboti yorwo kolende kanya kururigeria ng'endete kwirubiria nicho no mugeni oneto kwanire amange igoro ya mang'anaria activism against gender based violence nigo twalengina Joshua AUTA abo na Petra Mokeira kurensemo ende inchiri gonkuru kwa John KEBATI
esegio gwanya okora gusaro ko mwana munyaruka ni segi agendereire ase egeka egetambe. Serikali ya Kenya nseyo yokabeire umurai wense Uhuru Kenyatta mbabwate ekerenga yokora gusara ko mwana enyaruka wekero mwaka bwechiri bubere ne merongo ebere.
I committed myself and I committed my administration to doing everything possible to ending FGM in Kenya by the year 2022. In order to achieve this goal, we must initiate community-based programs.
Soira egetambukero elinde kumanya asi obwagare igorese gyokora obusara ko mwana umunyaruka asi aikeire imioro gongoro Gusii anene mono e-county Nyamira. Nigo tokumirana no monachi ebina sekigambero kya Nyamira oyobwate ekerogya deputy registrar asamalieta omosike Bena Okongo oyogotwera buna kubwate kana nerichiko obusara ko mwana enyaruka usasu mono bwe Nyamira female genital mutilation no korusi wense mobose oroiboro ruonsi ro mwana oyo.
The definition of female genital mutilation is a partial or a whole removal of the female genitalia. According to the law, the closest definition that can come to FGM can either be a sexual assault or grievous harm.
Engana yogosaro ko mwana umunyaruka ni engana yachagete ase amatuko akare asere imeti ngekero chomo Gusii kero mwana umunyaruka nigare gwetira enganeye atarachikoba omuiseke unatokora na George Nyakundi kurwa EKEUMBU Mwanyagetinge Heritage Council egetambukiro gotalera Mwanyagetinge Heritage Council ababwate obumanyi igoreke Gusii linde kugani kumanyanga inkiki arenge asogosaro mwana umunyaruka na ende maira yogotigwa gusarwa ku mwana umunyaruka naki obogima bogendera testinga kichabono
intubuna abagusii into abwate injira yaito na ende ntubwate ekemanyereri kyaito buno mu Gusii omwana oito omuiseke enyaruka gakinire goika ale korwa egesagane abe omuiseke egesagane no ri otararuka lakini ekero mu Gusii ale gosara noko ogo prick esomono bwege songo yani okoteri yake igo oraetie getege gesara ekero wakunire omongina akunire galia no mwana abekiru nyomba amatuko ang'emerongo 3 ebintu agosomigwa ni igoro ya sexual education.
Nigo tokumirana na Sara Nyamuita ojuo eterete ogosaro ku mwana umunyaruka asamatuko akare asagotoerera amakongo aeterete ekera abetega gosarwa
yaruke karona arengenka 1980s na bete ngosarwa karosa nkamenya kwanza ko sengenje la plead sana paka kana yete na gonyete tinkarabona na akuri lakini nasaga nkonya na yetenka ono rende ngatimuka bakanya konga chindagera fuchanga takurigeni.
Ensemo yende umo director osiko mkuru wa county ya Kisii nonyo sare tu ase enyagitari no bokungu obonene aecherete ase
Kamera so budu mwana njibe ko manyane very good Kamera because experience yecho ngotietrande tuko relating no bube buri na mutwano ase chinga kichoko ibora lakini cyamba ngokoria engakie tambe obororo omondo ko igware krakwaruka na ekero omuntu akwa chinafu chiri ichiko nacho cyaba mwachi yaba ekero omuntu omuyagasi mabwao kwaetera obukungu bungase
ni ngana boigo omobisa ase abisi agenda e-county Nyamira Ronald Abok Manga akoa okoboko
ekiagara obobo sara mbomanyire umwana araiteka manyinga bakakwe igenegente kebe egento kende ngo umwana arabatige eskuru atige eskuru aenda konyom anyora teenage pregnancy
Serikali ya Kenya nigo yabegete oboroso esegio kurwania ogosaro ko mwana enyaroka wetera ogwetiwa kwerichiko lyo mwaka chiri bubere na 11 lyo kumulinda omwana kurwa sogosarwa asumono bw'Kenyamorero Prohibition of Female Genital Mutilation Act of 2011. Buna tokwera no mwakili Charles Nyamwange oyogokorera obokoreri bwaye ase county Nyamira nechi county chietanaine.
It is now very strict for a parent or a guardian or even a relative, including grandparents, who subject your mwana to onyoru, you can be imprisoned up to 3 years of jail because your mwana tabuga their ability, their capacity to make her own decision. Kenya saa tongete omwana moiseke the genital organ yaige bwenda koba elastic naturally. Lakini abantu ababono abande buna bakokoria abana aba okwarukoko. They extract almost the entire genital organ. That are permanent, which causes a lot of delivery complications during childbearing. That's a serious repercussion.
Omonachi ebina bena akongo nigacho buna nigo omuntu onde bwensi oratokeka gwesona ni namangano gosara omwana omunyaruka aranyore egesusuro egetindi mono.
The offenses at the moment that are close to female genital mutilation is grievous harm. Of the penalties for grievous harm, it carries a maximum punishment of life imprisonment. But now the courts have powers to impose even harsher punishments depending on the severity of the crime committed.
Egati ebitango byokokora ogosaro ko mwana omunyaruka nigekoro kyo Gusii abantu bandi gokora egekoleke ase obobisi mono naboigo egati abakoli emeremo ase sector bochenu gosara abana kinyaruka
yakanije kolengana n'amasomo abo ali basomire lakini ntubuna abangina ntoratebigwe meaning yogotiga gosengenjo yaye bagukano gosaru
ora abangina bande bagotungaina ngabatigire kumbe botuko gosobo secretary basabisa abana bo buhiri baje gosarwa abara abana lakini ntuntwanya kanyora monto gosara yegitari gosara abana lakini maybe abantu bali batari trained abakwaka bakwana abanyagitari bagono bagosara abana nande kare kwanyona bogosibo
baro kanyora akobiso mwana bona gaje to kwani anti yaye gaje to kwani nakoro kumbe gata to Mokeira, particularly this time round when we are approaching the festive season. Actually, unfortunately, abana abange ba koba subjected to this act. Imbara ike miaka bara make their own decisions.
Egatemero beri aberege kobekwa asokurwani gosaro kwa abana kinyaruka no kwaliganwa kwemesangerekano nabo igosemia abana kinyaruka anene mono ase EKEUMBU kya manga hat kyaberege kwaligania emesangerekano ao yogosemia abana bwo elinde kurwania ogosaro kwa abanyaruka nerebu yaba bwatani ao gocha amo elinde kwenekya bunangu kora chole enganeye kurwase omochio Nyamira Ginko reporteria Ndizi TV Job Maangi.